Welcome to the Reapers Podcast. Here are your hosts, John Reaper.
Hello everyone, welcome to the one and only Reaper Podcast. I am your host, John Reaper, as always, and this podcast is going to get back on start with actual topics that I took down. We're going to start with the major topic, of course, throughout the whole week. A YouTuber known as Logan Paul. I was going to make a specialized video for that, but I decided to wait until the podcast. As you all know, you guys should know all the story. Logan Paul, a YouTuber slash rapper slash star who's on TV shows and a couple of movies, I do believe. His brother, Jake Paul, of course, is on Disney Channel stuff, movies and TV shows, rapper slash... They're the same formula, you know. Whether you go to, of course, they all use clickbait stuff, you know. There's a lot of clickbaity stuff they do, especially with Jake. But I'm not going to get into him. Okay, these people are okay people, but yeah, this video he released. Okay, I watched it. Like, seeing it, I'm like, maybe it's like I keep hitting my mic. Maybe it's like, you know, not real or whatever. Or maybe he saw a glimpse of it and then like he turned around or shut the cameras off or something like that. No. This idiot. I understand that you want to film. You want to film your reaction to it. Okay. All they did was blur out the face. Okay, if there's a dead body, usually you don't blur. Okay, you put a bar. To me, if there was a dead body, it should be a censor bar. Like back in the day, they don't do this now, but back in the day, they used to have censor bars. You know, if a movie was on TV and they don't want to like cut stuff out, they would take a censor bar and say if a naked man or woman comes, they take the black censor bar and put it across the male genitalia or the female genitalia. You know, that way it's like, oh, we get it, they're completely naked, but we, the audience and kids, don't have to see that. Now what they do is they either blur it so bad or they cut that naked section out. The thing is, with the problem with this is the blurriness. even if he was trying to blur the identity of this individual, the blurriness was like not even that good. I mean, you can still see the facial structures of that person. You know, I don't know if he used the YouTube blur thing or if he tried to use a software blur, but it's not as good as, you know, yeah, it's not good. I mean, like, if you would use that on a naked woman's boobs or a man's genitalia or a female genitalia, you would still see stuff, you know. They blur it so much where you can't even tell what the hell that is, you know. It's like, what is that, you know? Which I do believe that the bar thing needs to come back. And he should have used the bar thing across the whole thing. I mean, and another thing, Logan Paul claims that he was doing this laughing thing and making humor to cope with it. Okay, I've watched his videos a lot. Sadness, anger, a lot of stuff. No, he don't use laughing as a coping mechanism. Maybe shocked. I do believe he was shocked. Maybe they were all shocked. But you know it, and not to mention his peeps, his entourage, didn't help the fact that the girl was like smiling so much and giggling. I mean, to me, it didn't seem real. I'm like, this is probably fake. Okay, this is probably a stunt. And then Logan Paul will turn around and go, actually, this is a fake, dummy. We set this up, and they would set up the suicide thing, prevention and all that. No, I mean, I'm still kind of like, I think it's fake, because it's just, the reactions aren't genuine. He was, he got angry. I'm like, there we go. There's a genuine, because like with me and with a lot of people, suicide, it gets me angered, because it's like, why would you want to throw? I have suicide tendencies back in the day, and it sucked, to go through that, but looking back on it, I was like, why? I'm so stupid for wanting to throw my life away for no reason. I have my whole life ahead of me. Why even do that? Stuff works out. Life is like a roller coaster. You have your bottom dips, and it goes deep. Sometimes it goes deep, and sometimes it goes up, to where it's like you're high on life, and then like boom, it goes down again. That's life. It does that. Some people can have a high rise of stuff, and the roller coaster is like way high, and it's just a line. There's no dips. But a lot of people, the dips are steep. So to me, it was like fake, and I was like watching it in total disbelief if this is real. And when he got angry, I'm like, there we go, there's a real genuine one. Nobody's like laughing or whatever. No, he just got angry because there's stuff in his pockets and his backpack's there. Really, Logan Paul? You're not angry that he threw his life away? You're not angry that you got, he, as you claimed, he might have done it that day? You're not angry that if you guys would have came across in the same path, you could have prevented it? I would have been angry like that. If something would have happened to me, if I was in that same situation, I would not film it at all. Not even have it in my archive. Simply because and that's the one thing is, in a couple of videos, either a couple of videos or the last video, he was like, we need to go around and not, he goes, and actually respect people here, because Japan is all about respect. And I'm like, and, looking back on that, I'm like, that's kind of like, ironic. You talk about, we need to respect Japan and its culture, and you don't want to offend nobody, blah, 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 blah. And here you are filming it's now a teenager. It's coming out that it was a teenager. Anywhere around the world, there has been suicides, and it's not a laughing joke and a laughing matter. Some people don't deal with suicide that well. Some people, are just total ticked off about suicide. And that's perfectly fine. People take it as you will. But when people are laughing at suicide and filming it just for the purpose, and I don't understand the whole him saying this was demonetized. The demonetized thing, you know, he knew he was gonna have to take down that video. I do believe. I think he was ready to take down that video regardless, because he was probably to see what's, you know, people's reactions. People reacted bad and got negative, you know, downvotes and all that. He probably would have took it off, you know. And I don't think he has done any blogs since. You know, usually he's pumping out. But now it's nothing. Now it's dead, you know. And that kind of reflects on... I don't know if he's going to sit there and not do anything for a while. Or whatever, you know. Before then, I had much respect for Logan Paul, Jake Paul. You know, it makes no sense that all this would happen because of that, you know. I never understood why he done it. I never did, and it was total disrespectful. If it was me in that situation, I wouldn't even record it at all. I would have shut the cameras off. You know, even cut out a glimpse of the body. You know, and I would have been like, you know, after the fact, I would have collected my thoughts and turned the camera back on and be like, you know, here's what went down when I shut my camera off. A lot of people do that. I've seen a lot of YouTubers and vloggers that they would shut their cameras off if something happened or was going to happen, or for people that, you know, filming, you know, it's like, hey, you can't film here. When he was told, you can't film here, he kept going. You know, I've seen a lot of vloggers, when somebody get told they can't film, it's like, boom, immediate cutoff. And then when they come back on and said, look, you know, we were told no cameras, so we couldn't get that. You know, or they would cut it even before they did that. So I don't really understand it. And then like at the end, he's like talks about suicide prevention and all that, and he's still like, after the fact, he's still making jokes. He's still cracking jokes. His entourage still cracking jokes. I think one of them was legit, and trying to tell Logan, you know, hey, look, what are the, and he's being sincere. He's like, what are the chances that we pick that path? You know, and we come across him. And then Logan cracks a joke. And it's like, really, dude, he's trying to be genuine. He's trying to be, you know, genuine. And in the middle of public, you know, just cracking jokes at a kid. It's like, don't go over there. And it's like, you need to, you know, not tell the kid don't go over there. And the kid's going to go over there, you know. The kid. You should have told the mom, hey, don't go over there. Don't let your kid go over there. You know, stuff's happened, and it's not a good situation for him to see. And then the whole thing of, when I watched it, I saw there was a gate up. A gate closed, meaning off limits. Okay, I knew there's a couple places around here that when a gate's closed, it means off limits. Don't go in there. Simple, easy. You know, you really don't need a sign that says off limits, no trespassing, or whatever. You don't need a sign for that. When a gate's closed, boom, the gate's closed. When he went to that, and then when the guy came out afterwards and said, hey, that area was off limits, you shouldn't have been going in there. And he was like, well, it's a little too late. It's like, dude, you should have known, you know. And not to mention, I think the park people probably told him it was off limits. You know, I don't understand. You know, and at least he apologized, but it still didn't. It was still the fact that he'd done it. You know, it's like, dude, you had an elapsed in judgment. You know, there's a lot of stuff I do not put on. Like, if I was to record anything, back in the day, I recorded a lot of stuff. And I had an old channel. And if I was to, like, I would review anything I recorded. You know, just hangouts or whatever. And if I'm like, okay, if it's something that's not really good, I'll cut it out. You know. And I did. I usually cut it out, edited it out, and a lot of stuff that wasn't supposed to be on YouTube. And I did fine. You know, I didn't sit there and go, you know what, I'm going to put that in. That joke, I'm going to put that joke in. You know, that's untasteful. That's rude, not respectful at all. I'm going to put it in. No, I didn't do that. I took it out, always. Because you got to respect people. You got to respect not only people, but YouTube and the internet is like around the world. There's some countries that don't have internet or YouTube, but it's around the world nonetheless. And when you have, and not to mention, okay, take that into consideration, you have kids watching your content. Okay? Up until now, when you arrived in Japan, up until now, on that point, there was kids coming up to you. You know, Logan Paul, you gotta think, man. You gotta really think about that. You know, you gotta think about your audience and the people that watch your content. The people you run into. When you put stuff out there like that, think, man. Think. And it's crazy. It is crazy. I'm still kind of in total disbelief. I'm like, did he even do that? Was that a big body or what? You know, I'm still like in shock a little bit that he done that he pulled a stunt like that. And he claims that's not for the views. He gets a lot of views anyway. When you look at your statistic, even though you get a lot of views, you still see down arrows. You know, because it goes off of like your ultra high view was at 25 million. You know, even if you get 25 million or 24 million, it's still going to have a down arrow. Like, it's down, you know, it's down. And it will never be an up arrow until you beat that record high, you know. And that's all it's about. Whether, regardless if he said it was or not, I really don't know. That's the thing. You don't know, well, why? You know, why did he do this? I don't know. But, you know, he apologized. And there's a lot of YouTube celebrities out there that get called for worse stuff. Sexual harassment. You know, being the way they do. And remember, like, years back, it was like several years back, they were calling for a person that, what was it, underage sex thing? Where they had, like, what was it? Not Skype, but what was it? It wasn't Instagram. It was Snapchat. Because remember all those YouTube celebrities that had like Snapchat, and like they were getting accused of hooking up on Snapchat with underage girls, and they get dirty pictures of girls. I mean, I don't know if those channels are still up, and that's, you know what I mean? It's always been controversial drama with YouTubers, and like I've said before, time and time again, that you have to think smart about this. You have to you have to be smart, meaning you gotta think. Okay, look, you know, if I do this, if this is my consequence, then maybe I shouldn't do it. You know, you gotta think, man. No, it's hard for people to think. You know, you see, you see money, you see a beautiful girl, you see, if you do this drug, you get into it, or if you do this, you get into the big boys club instead of earning, your place. And it's like, I can get here faster if I done this. You can't. It's hard. It's really hard, especially for a small channel like me. It's really hard to grasp things. I mean, I'm doing like a podcast, getting back in the live streams, which I'll talk about later on. It's one of the topics. And also doing gaming videos, which that's a thing of the past now. Now it's about blogging, I guess, or doing the different stuff. And it's really hard for a person like me. It's hard. It's really hard. And, well, for me, also, I'm doing voice acting and trying to get into that little pocket there. It's really hard for people to do. So, Logan Paul, I really hope you learn your lesson. There's a lot of people that, relapse and like the PewDiePie incident. Yeah, you said an awful word to somebody. This word. And PewDiePie, it came out and said, look, I'm sorry. I got frustrated. I got sucked into, because everybody does it, and I got sucked into it. And he just forgot he was a celebrity. I guaranteed if he would have done it not on his own camera or his live stream, if he would have done it just playing around on the game and somebody so happened to record it, I guaranteed it would have come down anyway. They'd been like, oh my god, PewDiePie said this, we need to release this. Because that person would get famous for, and I think that's why PewDiePie backed off of gaming videos for a long time. He still does. Now he's on to, having people make memes or talk about different stuff, or, and it sucks. Because he was good. He was so good. He still kind of is good. He's funny. But his content kind of shrunk a little bit. That's not wrong. But, I like PewDiePie. He's cool. Logan Paul, I really hope there's no more lapse in judgment for this dude. I don't know if I'm subscribed to him or not. I don't think I am. My son watches Jake Paul and Logan Paul, and thank God, when he moved to Florida for a while, and he didn't have any internet or any access to YouTube. Thank God. If he would have saw that, I don't know how he would handle it. I really don't. So let's move on from the final words on this topic. It sucked what Logan Paul did, but as I reminded everybody that a lot of YouTubers make mistakes. I've seen it time and time again. Just like celebrities. Celebrities make the same mistakes. Sexual scandal stuff. Showing of content that didn't need to be showed. That it was totally disrespectful. I've been told since I was little, watch what you say and watch what you put on the internet. Because it will stay out there forever. And if it's something bad, it will come back and bite you in the ass. I've always been told that from day one, and I still follow that rules. I still do. I'm still like, you know what? I'm not going to put any content bad. I've been trying like hell to not cuss or swear because of YouTube's terms of service, which I do believe that's the next topic. But Logan Paul, I hope you have no slide backs, and I hope this actually opens your eyes to what you've been doing wrong. If you would have just cut that part out and sat down, the whole sitting down of the stairs, why didn't you do that? Like, why didn't you cut it and do that right after and shared your experience? No, I decided to cut the cameras, and I was in total, shock and disbelief, angry that this person did this. Suicide is a bad thing, and you should have done that. Because suicide is a bad thing. It's very, very bad. Because you don't know. I mean, like, things could have turned around before you get to that point. If you got to that point and done it, things would have turned around. It sucks. I've had many of people that has died over drug overdose or suicides, and it sucks, dude. Because half of the people I went to school with are gone. It's sad. I mean, I can't even think about it, because then I will sit there and get depressed and lose it. I have before, to where I'm just like silent and thinking about stuff, and I can't go there. It makes me angry as well. Because not only am I angry at that person, I am angry at myself for allowing myself to think that in the past. Suicide is a real thing. It's real. A lot of people don't want to think about it, or don't want to be like, oh, it's not real. It is real. Yeah, it's real. So that's my final thoughts on that. Moving on to the next topic. YouTube's rules and services, and also changing, or channels demonetizing or getting deleted. Oh, it's something that just I don't understand. Okay, going back to the Logan Paul situation, there was a lot of people that actually reported this video, Logan Paul's video. They reported it, and like, dude, there's a dead person in the video, and that's disrespectful, and I don't want to see that. YouTube came back at people and said, we're not going to do anything. But if somebody cusses, if somebody runs around naked, if somebody does something totally disgusting, or anything like this, I guaranteed if somebody with a low channel standards done this, YouTube would have deleted the channel. They would have been like, no. But see, Logan Paul is a high ranking people, not as close as PewDiePie, but they're getting up there, and it's, I'm kind of glad that people took it in their hands, because YouTube weren't going to do anything. I like YouTube, but they really need to come together, and, I would love to work at YouTube, because then I'd be like, no, you can't do this. You do that, you have to do it for everyone. So to be honest, if I see a channel, or if I see a video that gets put up that has a dead body on YouTube with just a face blurred and people laughing, and if that person gets taken down, I think YouTube should apologize and put that right back up, and it's for the person to decide to take it down or not. Logan decided to take it down, well, I guarantee YouTube would just delete the channel or take it down or demonetized it. Which is the next thing is demonetizing. Demonetizing is just so stupid. You get people that watch your video for a couple of minutes or look at the title or in the picture, and they demonetize you. That's what I'm led to believe, but I do believe it's an automated system. It's an automated system that listens to your video for a little bit, and then they demonetize it because it's an AI. If they catch a word that's like, they probably got words in the software that if they catch, you can't, it's I don't like it. I don't, the cussing thing. There's a channel out there called Super Logan Mario, I do believe, and he does stuff. He takes the plushies and does stuff with them, like make them talk, like puppets or whatever, and he cusses and all that. Some of it might be distasteful because the puppet, one of the puppets has probably like Down syndrome or something, and I don't know what else he has, and I don't know if it's making fun of it or because when you look at the people around him, they don't have that. Usually if somebody does something like that, they're either making fun or they're inspired by a family member or something, but he's just doing it, and it says a whole bunch of cuss words. It's raunchy at sometimes. It's over the top. A lot of F words being thrown around, and they're now age restricting, and of course, it's not fair for him, but the dude has to look at it in the situation. Dude, you're cussing a lot in the videos, and kids are watching your videos because it looks like it's kid friendly, but it's not. He has to look at it that way, You know what I mean? And he don't put viewer discretion is advised, and he don't put out warnings, adult content. He just puts it out there. It should be before the video of warning strong adult content. Not suitable for children under 13. That's what he needs to put out there every video. Yeah, it's stupid, but I mean, if you look at the lines of Team 4 Star, they had to put a disclaimer in before that because of copyright issues and telling people to go support the original content. This is just a parody. They have to do stuff like that. Why is he so special not to do that? And the thing is, he's not. And that's why they're demonetizing probably a lot of his videos, is because they're not, and they probably think it's the awfulest thing, You know what I mean? So it's just YouTube. When people say, oh, YouTube's being so unlawful, to be honest, it's not really YouTube's fault. I do believe that they have an AI sitting there and judging the channels and the content. And then because like, there would be videos that I'm like, there's no way that got demonetized. And I'll sit there and hit menu reveal, boom, it's back. I'm like, see? It's all just AI. And people are just getting lazy with the AI system. It's like, oh, we ain't gonna sit there and look through all the videos. We'll just have an AI do it, and we'll just sit back and relax. No, you can't do that. AIs make wrong judgments. I think I made one error. Like, they blocked my video one time because I didn't say Metal Gear Solid nuclear disarmament. I just put nuclear disarmament, and they like blocked my video. They like, no, you can't have that. It's like, what? You know, if you guys would have watched my video, you would understand. You know, I'm recording Metal Gear. No, you know, so I'm like, crap. You know, and it sucks. It really sucks. But then again, you know, a lot of people need to be more careful, read the guidelines. I know a lot of people don't want to read the guidelines, but, you know, yeah, the guidelines need to be there. So, final thoughts on that. That was the final thought. Battlefront 2. I understand Battlefront 2 is getting a lot of flack with loot boxes and a whole bunch of crap. You know what? Don't buy the loot boxes. Don't. If it bothers you that damn much, if you want to screw EA that damn much, okay, get the game. Do not buy the loot boxes. Just play the game. Why? Like Assassin's Creed, I don't get the loot boxes. When I play Assassin's Creed Origin, I don't sit there and go, oh my god, I gotta get the loot boxes. Blah, blah, blah. Screw that. Just do what you're doing. Play the game. Okay? I mean, I'm sick and tired of hearing about EA and the loot boxes. Good God. Okay, get over it. Get over the loot boxes. Okay? Jesus. You know, games can't make extra money. A little bit of leeway so that way they can actually make the games. And they leave it up to the player to buy the loot boxes. EA is not pointing a gun to your head saying, buy the frickin' loot boxes. No, they're not. You gotta understand that, people. EA is not having a gun pointed at you. It is EA right now. You got Battlefront 2. Is EA right now at your doorstep, knocking on the door. You go in. Are they holding a gun to your head and they go, see that loot box? Buy that loot box with real money. Put your real money on whatever and then buy it. No, they're not. They're in their studios going, we're going to leave it up to the player if they want to buy the loot boxes or not. And I understand it's like, oh, it's to develop longer or whatever. They've already stated that you can get everything in the game without buying the loot boxes. It's going to take a little bit longer. Yeah, that's the way it should be. That's the way it's always been with video games. Look at Metal Gear Solid 4. Dude, Metal Gear Solid 4, it takes forever to get every single gun in the game. There's one thing I have not been able to get. And that is the big boss head thing. Because I have to go through the whole game without being seen or killed. And it's totally impossible. I've done it. I like hardcore mode. I mean, a lot of... to where I'm like, okay, I didn't get spotted or whatever. And it shows up. I'm like, how? You know... It's impossible. There's certain scenes that's impossible, but people have done it. I still have the game. I still play the game, and I have not done it. So, yeah. But anyway, but they made a mod, the Matt mod for Kylo Ren. That is hilarious. If you guys don't know what the Matt mod is, he did a skit, I think on Saturday Night Live, where it was like undercover bosses for The Force Awakens, where he disguised himself as Matt. Was it Matt the janitor or the engineer or something like that? And it was hilarious, dude. I loved every single bit of it. It was hilarious. And they actually made a mod for that, and it looks awesome. It looks funny. I love that mod. I don't have Battlefront 2, to be quite honest. I wish I did, but yeah. So honest. Awesome. Ignore that last part. Let's move on to the next topic. That topic is video games for 2018. Good God. 2018 is going to be so lit, people. Okay, you got Red Dead Redemption 2 coming up. You got, God, I had a lot of these in my head. You got Kingdom Hearts 3 coming up. You got Metal Gear Survive. A lot of people don't like it, but that's coming up. Death Stranding coming up. Whatever that game is. Well, I do know what it is, but you know, you have all these games lined up, Spider-Man and all that. It's incredible, the lineups. Dude, when I was watching the E3 and watching the Game Awards, I was like, oh my god, or PlayStation Experience, they're just busting out these games. God of War, oh my god, I need to replay the games again. I love God of War. God of War is awesome. Kind of reminds me of Legacy of Kain a lot, but or Soul Reaver, which that game needs a reboot. It's so amazing, the games that are coming out this year. Of course, this year, which I'm going to be talking about here in a minute, like, for real, I've been thinking about just going in a hole and not even coming out for the games that are coming out. And it's so awesome. But moving on from that, that's like in connection with that. I'm actually getting a PSVR, and I cannot wait for that, because there's apparently a lot of content from what I've been hearing and reading, that there's going to be a lot more VR content coming out for the PlayStation, and there's like a bunch that I've seen that's out already. You know, VR may be short. The two I want to get my hands on is Skyrim VR and Fallout VR, because that's going to be wild. Doom, not so much. I don't know. Doom's more of a... I don't know. I really don't know. But it's just going to be wild. I'm going to have the VR in the studio. So maybe I could try to record or something. I don't know. I'm going to try. But yeah, there's a lot of content coming out for 2018. Now, the PlayStation, let's talk a little bit about that since we're on the subject. Let's talk about two subjects. One is PlayStation Now. I do not like PlayStation Now for one reason and one reason only. PlayStation Now is dedicated to people that want to relive PlayStation 1, 2, and 3 games. Instead of just putting the hardware on there, it is a computer. Basically, you can take computer components and actually make a PS4 and Xbox. Which, in my opinion, okay, if they could do that, why not put emulators in your PlayStations? You know, you have the PlayStation Pro that's so powerful, more powerful than the PS4. Why can't you add emulators to it? You know, or why can't you come out with a separate console that is, call it the PlayStation Classics or the PlayStation Beyond or the PlayStation something or the PS something that has emulators of PlayStation 1, 2, and 3. You know, that you can hook up to either your PS4 or just hook up to your TV directly, and you can play it with a PS4 controller. You know, they do that with the PlayStation TV. You know, where you can play PSP games on the TV. You don't need a PSP or whatever. You just put in your stuff and play. Yeah. For people that like the PS Now, yeah, I'm sorry, but I don't really get into it. if it was a market like they did with the PS3, where you can purchase a game online, download it directly to it, and you can have it for forever. If it was something like that, yeah, I would be down for it. But PlayStation Now, I think Sony needs to get rid of that and go back to the way it was. Because nobody wants to rent games. You know, everybody wants to buy and keep their games. So that way later on they can play it. The next aspect of the PlayStation is back a while back, when the Switch was released, there had been a reveal of a Sony-like Switch system. Now, if Sony comes out with this, it's not been the first time that Sony actually kind of copied, but capitalized and made it further. When the Wii launched with the nunchuck and all that, with the wireless controllers, PlayStation actually came out and with the Move, you can have the two ball-like things, or you can have the nunchuck thing that it comes with, and you don't have to connect them to, like the nunchuck does. This thing is connected, and they're both controllers, and it capitalized where it made it into the next generation for the PSVR, and that's awesome. They have a Switch system, which from the concept, it's got the two Sony controllers that look like the nunchuck version of the Sony controller that slides just like the Switch, or take it off and play it like the Switch, does. But the thing is, I don't see where there's a dock. There's no concept for a dock to play on the TV. So I'm thinking the reason why they stopped content for the Vita is to come out with this handheld console that plays like the Switch, but you can also play possibly PS4 games on. I don't know. But if they do, I want one. Watch, I'll get the PSVR, and then later on down the road, I might get the PlayStation Pro, and then they'll have that, and I'll be like, it's nerve-wracking. It's like, no, but I can't wait. I can't wait if they do. If they do, it's going to be really, really awesome. Moving away from PlayStation. Well, actually, it's still in the PlayStation realm. Never mind. Remastered and remakes. What do you guys really think about that? I mean, to me, I think they're awesome. Because soon there ain't going to be no need for buying games or renting games. All they'll do is come out with a cheap game that has like multiple games on, and it's like, okay, cool, I could buy that, and then I don't have to worry about busting out my old consoles or renting from PlayStation Now or whatever. I think they're wonderful. I really do. If it's remastered versus remakes, remasters are okay, but if it's something like from the PlayStation era, there should be a remake. Because of the graphics. The PS2s are okay for remasters. The PS3 are definitely okay for remasters. But as for remakes, I don't know. PS1s, yes. PlayStation 2, maybe. The PS3s, I think they're fine where they at. because they're so, the graphics are pretty much good. I mean, if you look at a Metal Gear Solid 4 point of view, the graphics look fantastic. They look great. Still, I mean, revolutionary, man. But yeah, I like remastered remakes as much as any. I mean, a lot of people are like, I don't like him. It's like, well, that's you. I like him. Let's move along because I'm starting to run out of time here. I didn't realize I run out of time. Moving on to how can the Switch improve, and is it doomed? There's a lot of people saying it's doomed. They even said this before it launched. And a lot of problems came with it. Software, docking, the controllers, a lot of problems I saw. There was a continuation of problems. They can improve so much on it. I mean, look what they did with the Wii and then the Wii U. I know, bad example, but which they've started the whole improving console thing. Because all PlayStation Xbox did was, okay, we'll just keep the same console but slim it down to where it's smaller, sleeker, and ugly looking. That's all they did for the console market. I mean, if you look at the PS3s, they went from a beautiful, shine, big old power station to a plastic looking thing that looked kind of ugly, but still kind of worked. And now an even uglier thing that's like the technology. Like, they're like, okay, let's not do the whole slot thing, putting your games in and out. Let's do the PS2 tray thing. No, let's go back to the PS1. Let's slide back the thing on top and place the disc right on the pedestal and slide it back. That is the PS1 design. And I look at it, I go, that is so ugly. Why did they do that? And it's because it's a cheaper version. It's real cheap. Yeah, it still has the same graphics, same everything. It's just they made a cheap version of the PS3. And I hope to God they don't do it with the PS4. Okay, they made the PS4 Slim. I didn't like it. I still don't like it. I like the original PS4. The PS4 Pro, I like it because it's beefed up and it's like, I like that. The Xbox, of course, they did the same thing. Xbox One, the Slim, and then now they have the Xbox One S. So, and the Switch is like behind on shit. There needs to be like a slimmer Switch and a improved Switch, like the Switch Plus or something like that. But it can improve on a lot. The functionalities, the software, the screen, the battery time, how it handles, a lot of stuff they can improve. We just have to wait to see if they will improve it. I kind of hope they will, because I think that would be badass. If they have like the Switch Mini, that's like a little handheld, or like thinner. But I don't see them doing that. I see them just beefing it up. I see them being like, okay, we know what's wrong with this shit. Let's fix all this shit and make it improved and make it more badass. I think it needs to be that way anyway. Yeah. But guys, playing the outro out, and I am out of here for this podcast. Like I said, I'm getting back into writing down the topics and delivering to you. I am all out of time for this podcast. Please check me over on my Twitter account, Facebook. Check me out on Twitch. Check me out on my Reddit. Check me out. Just check me out. Check out the merch in the Void Studios, or the Void, or the Reaver's Void, whatever. check me out there in the description below. Buy the merch. Buy yourself a hoodie. Buy yourself a toboggan or a hat or a loved one. Designs are coming soon for a new look of 2018. I promise you that. New intros, new logo, new everything. This may be a trend that I do for every year. That I sit there and improve myself. So thank you guys so much for listening to the Reapers podcast. I hope you guys enjoy. Please hit that like button, subscribe to hear more podcasts and to keep up to date. Hit that notification bell and put a comment down below on any topics I've discussed. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you guys next week on Tuesday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you so much. Play me out.